All right, everyone. This is it, session 404. Thank you so much for sticking it out, making it all the way to the end. We crammed a lot of information into 4 sessions over 2 weeks. Before we get too far into this final session, I once again want to thank Troy for sharing so much incredible knowledge in the last session about YouTube. And maybe what we ought to do is let's go ahead and do this. Does anybody have a question for Troy that you coulda, woulda, shoulda brought up yesterday and you said, doggone it, I never asked him this? Why don't we take the first couple of minutes to address any questions that you may have over that information? So if that's you, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask away. Okay. So they're all experts now. Good, man. You are
like one 30-minute session and they're all monetized and they're grabbing 10 leads a day. I'm proud of everyone in this room. You guys are rock stars.
You know what? We're messing with you because we know that all of this must seem like taking a sip of water from a fire hose. Have you ever tried to do that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's a lot coming your way. Maybe one of the things that I can give you today, because today is not going to be so structured. I want to show you some things on the LPT Connect that I think could be of value to you that you may not even be aware that that feature is there. But I also wanted to just kind of have like some Q&A. Once again, if you're having any particular challenges that you think maybe if I brought it up to the group, they might be able to help me with this. I'm not saying it's going to be a therapy session, but maybe it is a therapy session because again, it doesn't matter how good the information is. If something inside of you is preventing you from moving forward, then it could be that somebody else is experiencing the same thing. And then they could share how they overcame that and everything else. So quick review by now. Here's how I look at things, right? You've done most of these. You've done some of these. You haven't done any of these. Now, if you haven't done any of these, I don't know what to tell you. I think that for those of you that have already accomplished most of these, congratulations. I applaud you. This is a big step. Something to run by you. You know what the most important component in a coaching session or a coaching series is? It's really not the coach. It's whether the individuals are coachable. And what I have found is a lot of folks claim to be coachable, but they're really not. I've never used a personal trainer, but maybe you know someone that has, or maybe you yourself did. If they're telling you to do all these things and they say, okay, and then you come back the next day or the next week and you're not doing any of those things in between, you're not going to accomplish a lot. Now, the thing that I've noticed is I've seen agents that are paying $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month for coaching. And I would venture to say it's not a whole lot different than what we've been talking about for the last 4 sessions. Sometimes when you don't pay for something, you take it for granted. My goal was to put you in a position where you guys can move forward. Some of you haven't gotten off the starting block yet. You're brand new, or your career has stalled. We joke about this being Lazarus and raising dead real estate careers from the dead or saving them from being on life support. But it really is something that if you apply this consistently, I think you're going to be in the percentile that's going to be doing well. So anyway, I hope that this is something that you'll continue to do. This wasn't something you just, one and done. This is something that you keep revisiting. Because let me ask you something. You think if you've accomplished 3 or 4 goals in the next 2 or 3 months, are you done? Or are you replacing some of the goals with other goals? So what happens is you just kind of go through the process. You're constantly evolving of that. So let me go ahead and also ask you if you just had any questions based on what I covered yesterday or from one of the other classes that you just it's not clear. It's just not resonating. Anything you want to ask at this point? Okay, so what I'm going to attempt to do is see if this share, let me see, because I always get nervous when it comes to sharing a screen. I don't like it because I just feel like I'm not good at the sharing the screen part. You're on one, and then you wonder if I shift to another one, is it gonna work or it's not gonna? You know what I found? Hold on. I'm finding this out, and maybe try to, you almost have to be, had to have clicked on the last, on the item you want last in order for it to show up as an option. It's kind of weird. If I don't click on it, like I don't even see it. Let me see. I'm blind and I cannot see. So let's see. Okay, I can do this. So I got this. This is the page I want. I go here. And it's there. Man, I'm blind and I cannot see. All right, so you guys see my connect? Okay. Take that as a yes. All right. So are you guys okay? I mean, it's just like it just seems like, usually these things can be low energy because of the environment, because but just today seems like really, really low energy. But anyway, this screen should not be a surprise. You should be going here often. This is Connect 2.0. This is where we go to access a number of different tools and resources. I'm not here to give you a complete, thorough tour of this. The best thing that you can do is click on every single one of these tiles and see what it does and see where it goes. There's certain ones that I cannot click on right now because it has information that's not really, it's our personal information that doesn't need to be shared with the group. But you need to, I want to point out some things just in case you're wondering, right? If you ever need to do a ticket, you need help, you go into support. And when you go into support, then you go ahead and select what category it is that you need. And then you can go ahead and fill out the ticket from there. All right. So you start a ticket and then you choose which category it has to do with. And they're very good about getting to these. I mean, they really, really staff up. These are all the tickets I've done in the past, and it tells you the status of the different tickets and everything else. So that's where you go, and that is support. So next thing I want you to go into is knowledge base. Knowledge base is this area, I think, is being replaced, I think, a lot by the main stage, which I'll show you. But here you can still go in and see recordings of Motivational Monday, Real Estate First Friday. I'll give you an example. It's not uncommon for someone to ask me, what is our insurance this? What is the brokerage license number? What is this? That's when you need to go into administration. So you need to go into administration. And when you click on here, then you find your state. All right. You find your state. See, it's got all the different states here. It's got the email. Like if you ever need to email the Florida broker, and we have several. The only time any of our agents have needed to email them directly is when you need to have maybe a listing transferred over. They want or transferred out. They demand the broker signature. Apart from that, LPT gives us the authority to sign just about everything. The BBAs, the referral forms, all this kind of stuff. If you ever come across a brokerage that says, wait a minute, you signed it. Are you the broker? No, my broker gives me permission. No. I want your broker to sign it. In that case, this is something that needs to be sent to FL Brokers at LPT Realty. So there's the various states. And you scroll down and it tells you the company license. And then this is the Canadian side. Here is the E&O insurance information. Okay. So this is good to know. This is good to know because I think if you go in here, you can also find the 1099 information. Sometimes you go in there and some places want a 1099. So that that's that. Oh, by the way, supposedly here, if you go into knowledge base, you also have a state specific one. So see here, since we're Florida, with the exception of Troy, his will say Texas. You can have a knowledge base that's just for Florida only. That's good to know. Let me see what else. What else I think is important here. Revenue share. If you are in the 80-20 plan, the business partner, you would go into the revenue share area to see what, if any, revenue share that you have. You also go in there to see what type of organization you are growing. Like when I go in there, to me, it's like there's my morning coffee, and before my morning coffee, I go into revenue share. Because when I go in there, it tells me not just who I have personally sponsored, it tells me how many people are in my entire organization. And that includes my friends up there in North and South Carolina, Marisol in California, Marquisha in Minnesota. Troy is going to be opening up Texas for me personally. At last count, I had 333 total people in my organization. So if you're into the revenue share aspect of it, and that's something you want to do, then this is where you constantly monitor what's going on over there. The performance awards are where you find out how many stock awards you've earned. We're not a publicly traded company yet, but we're able to earn stock awards. These awards are going to be converted over into actual shares once we go public. Okay, so that's something there. So what I wanted to kind of show you, and if you have any questions, don't be afraid to speak up or something like that. I don't mind. I would like to try to get as much interaction as possible. You should be spending a lot of time in the marketing area. The marketing is where you order everything from your presentation boxes to everything else. And I just want to touch on one thing in particular. Notice how I clicked on it and it opened up all of these things here. I ain't going to go into all this, okay? But I do want to show you here where it says social downloads, right? So you see on my screen, social downloads, and then I go down to where it says featured graphics or social media. A featured graphic is, let's say we won an award. Like, almost every time there's a session, RP or someone is saying, hey, we just won this, we just won that. So when we showed up in the top 10 of Real Trends Verified, right? That's big stuff for a 3-year-old company to go from 0 to the top 10. How great is it that you see these graphics? I didn't create these. These were created for me. And for those of you that are constantly wondering, hey, so what do I got to do from a standpoint of social media content? There's your content. All you have to do now is click here in the bottom right where it says download. And it already has your photo and your phone number, your name and everything, because it's grabbing it from your profile, your marketing profile. Whatever you have on the marketing profile here, it's grabbing it automatically there. So that's on featured graphics. On a day-to-day basis, you can go into where it says social media graphics, go all the way to the end over here, and then you have all of these. And this is a combination of graphics that you would use to create business with consumers. And if you're into the attraction side, you can also use some of these as a way of communicating to agents that LPT is there. And if they want to find out more, they come see you. Again, these are all personalized for you. They're constantly being updated. 12 reasons to join LPT. And it has your information here. So that, I think, is a super valuable resource. Now, again, I went in here because I hadn't been in this section for a while. And I says, okay, so let me click on, let me see something. Sometimes it's slow, social media graphics. And I says, okay, business cards. Business cards is telling you, no, you got to do that through Desi. Desi is the AI, and you use Desi to create the different brochures and stuff. But I don't remember seeing this marketing plan. So I clicked on here, and lo and behold, something that usually people would have to pay for the printed version, you now can download the electronic version. Bet you didn't know that. So that's huge. I'll try to show that to you in a second. Now, the rest of these items, like these are things that you order, but then again, there was one more, I think, this one, 7 home buyer strategies. You know how now everything is shifting and it's becoming a buyer's market? Well, you could buy the printed version, but how cool is it that the electronic version is available? And all you got to do is hit download. It downloads it. It's in a PDF format. And then from there, you can print it out yourself, or you can send a PDF to somebody. I think that's amazing because more and more agents have said, is there an electronic version? Because you know what? The printed stuff is, even though we're getting great pricing because we have our own printing, it ain't cheap. Nothing's cheap anymore. And so this removes some of the barriers and obstacles for you to do it. So imagine you knowing this now, maybe you're hearing this for the first time and you do absolutely nothing with it. That would be pretty sad, wouldn't it? So that's on your list of things to do. So it's just, you saw how I did it, right? I just clicked on connect. I went into marketing. I went into social media graphics, and then I just started playing around here and it gave me that. Okay. So that I think is an amazing thing. Now, the other thing I want to introduce you to is at the very top here, it says main stage. I think the intent here was to turn this into our own social media platform. In other words, you know how we have the Facebook group, but more and more companies are trying to say, well, is there any way we can keep that just internal and just have it? I don't know whether it's really working or not. I'll be very, very honest with you. I don't go in here at all. When I want to communicate with LPT across the country, I go into the Facebook group. Maybe I need to start doing that. And I guess it depends upon how many people are here, but a lot of information is shared here. Now, one of the reasons why I went in here is because now you're in main stage and you go over here to the side here, videos. And you know, when they do Motivational Monday and they do any of these things here and they record them, within hours or a couple of days, they're uploaded here. So if you can't make it to a Motivational Monday at 11 a.m. or Friday at 11 a.m., then just spend some time like this one here, an overview of the digital buyer presentation by Christina, which is actually what I want to show you now. Even after I show it to you, you guys go in here and see. Let's see. I bet you Christina teaches it even better. Now, I wanted to get the latest sheet that breaks down the 2 different commission plans and everything else. So I went under files. That's another option you have over here. And under files, I was able to go in and download what I was looking for, like LPT. See all this stuff here? You got the graphics for download information in here. And then I just went ahead and said, hey, no, you know what? I need the summary sheet that breaks down what it is we do. And I went ahead and said, okay, this is the most recent one. And this shows the Canadian one. Are you guys seeing this sheet right here? Okay. So this was actually one of the things I wanted to talk about. And maybe I can do it from this here. Hold on. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but it would be a real shame if you didn't have this information, because this might be something you need to do. You need to switch, you need to find out. But I think that if you are into potentially attracting other agents to come work with us, there's a little bit of information that you should be able to share, right? It's pretty amazing that some folks could be with a company for months and months and months and not even know what's going on. So a little bit of knowledge is a good thing. Not here to overwhelm you, but I want to share this. LPT has 2 commission plans. 99.9% of you are on the business builder. The business builder is the 100% plan with a $500 commission and a 195 fee per transaction. Now, that is separate from the team agreement you have with Gabi and myself. If you're on a 90-10 split with us, you're getting 90%, we're only getting 10%. That's separate and apart. All right. So for those of you, I think I have personally recruited every single person that's newer to the company since we made the change. I go on the board, right, Carol? I go on the board and I'm explaining and I says, look, let's say you made $10,000. What happens? This goes to the team. This much goes over here. What's LPT going to take? LPT is going to take 695. All right. Now, just in case you didn't know, you can pass on a transaction fee to the customer and you determine the amount. In the old days, the days from before, when we were an independent brokerage, our fee was $495, and that $495 went to Gabi and myself. When we made the switch over, we knew that it would be a bit of a hardship for our agents to absorb a commission to us that they were used to paying, plus an additional $695 per transaction that they weren't accustomed to paying. To smooth everything out for an entire year, we covered that fee. We were only collecting $495, not only giving the $495 out of our pocket, we also gave an additional $200. Everyone thought that we were crazy. I said I was counting the days down to a year. Now, that was only for the folks that were grandfathered in. Those are the folks that were Xtreme International. And then when we made the move, we grandfathered in. Everyone that's already gone for everyone. So for you to absorb that $695, you need to charge something to the customer. I have met many an agent that says, I can never charge anyone anything. Okay, God bless you. Then you absorb the $695 completely from yours. Some folks are very comfortable with $495, maybe not so much with $595, definitely not with $695. All right, well, if you're able to recover $495, that's only $200 out of your commission. $695, all of it. $795, you keep the difference. You feel me? It's completely up to you. We saw the other day an offer that came through on one of ours where it was like $120-something thousand condo, and I think the transaction fee that the other side is charging their buyer was over $1,000 on 100. Now I think that's exorbitant, but who am I to judge? So that's how that part works. Now, a couple other things. So because remember, RDR, realtors don't read. Just today, an agent that left our team is getting their commission. And it's like, what is this fee? What is this fee? After a year and multiple closings, you still don't know any of this? So Gabi and I, our tempers our patience is run out when it comes to this stuff. So let's take a look at where it says fees, right? The 195 and the 500 are on every transaction. Here's what I like you to consider. Consider the 500, the commission that LPT makes. They're just making a measly $500 on that transaction. And the 195 is really going to help offset all of the administrative costs that they have, all the people they have in compliance and everything else. So that's where that comes from. Every year, and when I mean by year, I mean your anniversary year, not calendar year. If you just joined us a week ago or 2 weeks ago, that is your anniversary date. Within the first year, within every year, upon your first closing, there is a $500 annual fee that is separate and apart from the transaction-related fees. So don't act surprised when that happens. Okay, people always say, well, where did this $500 come from? It's there in your ICA. Now, what I've seen the company do is, I think it's kind of cool, and Gabi has done a lot to make this happen. Let's say your first closing is a rental, and the commission is only maybe $1,000 or $1,500. Then they have broken that up into a couple of different things to help you. Okay, now let me pause there for any question. I haven't checked the chat yet because I got like 19 windows open. So if there's a question you typed in the chat, I'd rather you just ask me now. But before I move on, I know I've already covered quite a bit. I want to make sure that there's, because I still want to cover all this stuff here. Any questions on what I've mentioned so far? Okay. All right. Good. Now, what does a $500 annual fee cover? Well, E&O is a big part of it. There are a lot of companies that still charge monthly fees. We don't charge a monthly fee. And usually when a company charges a monthly fee, part of that fee is for a technology fee. The other part of it is for E&O. Troy will tell you this. He's been with companies that do that. With us, it's just a flat amount. Now, what I want you to understand so that there's no misunderstandings is, let's say you go an entire year and you didn't sell anything. Now you're in year 2 and you sell something. They're going to hit you for the 500 twice because you didn't sell anything in the first year and you didn't sell it, and now you sold something in the second year. They rode with you. They didn't turn off your technology. They didn't stop covering you when you were out there doing what you were doing. You just didn't close anything. So, that has surprised a few people. Well, you think they just say, "Oh, guys, that's okay. We're good." No, the company has to go ahead and do that. Now, let me see what else is potentially something that comes up. Oh, rentals. We were very, very transparent. Ashley knows this. Nicola knows, because you guys were veterans. You were there at the very beginning. That the rental aspect of the LPT isn't ideal. It's not ideal. It is what it is, right? So what happens is this. When you have a transaction that what the office makes, right, what comes in on our side is $2,500 or more, the only option is to either pay the 500 plus the 195 or do 80-20 because you're on the brokerage partner one. I haven't talked about this yet, but I will. That's it. That's the only option you have. So if you have a rental that comes in and it's $2,600 on our side, $2,700 on our side, then it's going to be just like any other closing would be. The same percentage you pay the team and the same $695 to the company. Now, what we have seen, if it's happened even once, I'd be surprised. In our market, the vast majority are under $2,500. Would you agree with that, Ashley? That most of the rentals, the side that we get, are under 2,500?
Yes, almost all of them, I would say a good 99.99999.
Thank you. A lot of times I think that people think, well, he's just making this stuff up, but Ashley's done a ton of rentals. So here's what the company says. Okay, listen, this is $2,300. You have two options now. You can do the 500 plus the 195. Now, why would anybody want to do that? Well, remember, when you're on the business builder, it caps at $5,000. Do you know that there's agents that don't understand what a cap? Oh, in fact, that was one of the questions that came up. It was like, what's a cap? You've been with us a year and a half. What's a cap? A cap is the most that the company will earn from you in that given time. So let's see how many math whizzes we have here. If $5,000 is the cap per year, and they're making 500 per transaction, how many closings equal capping? 10?
10.
Yeah, nothing gets past this group. I knew you'd get that. So here you're thinking, now let's talk strategy now, right? Here, the name of the game, you want to try to cap as early in your year as possible, because then you have the rest of that anniversary year to make 100%. So in this case, if you capped on the 11th transaction, the 11th one, there would be no $500 charge. There would only be the 195. Now you would still pass on that fee to the customer. And let's say you typically would charge $695. Nothing changed. You would have a surplus of $500 that's added to your commission, your earnings. See how that works? Okay. Now let's say that you're at 9 and you just need one more to cap, and you know that you still got plenty of time. to take advantage of being capped, right? And a rental comes along, and the rental is $2,000. Well, strategy may dictate that you go the option of the 500 plus the 195, because that one deal puts you over the top. See how that works? But 99.99999% of the time, our agents are going to exercise what is called the low GCI option. Okay, low GCI option, which is very simple. The company does an 80-20 with you. That's it, an 80-20. So if the commission was $2,000, LPT would keep 400, you have 1,600. Now, we as Xtreme used to get 10 or 20% on our rentals because that's what split we were on with our agents. Most of our agents were probably already at 90. I think we may have raised it to 90. Well, we knew that it could be a little bit of a burden to pay 10% to the team plus another 20% to LPT. So we ate it. We just said, you know what? We're going to not charge any commission at all, split. But there is a 150 transaction fee that we need to collect. And Ashley, do you have any problem collecting that 150 from the folks that you represent?
Not at all. I haven't had not one client say they won't pay it. Not at all. Some want to pay me more than 150. They say 150 isn't enough, honestly.
Then God bless them. Let them pay more,
Yeah.
and then you keep the difference. Right?
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
done it.
There was, you know what, the other day someone posted, I'm not going to mention the name, but someone posted on Facebook, hey, I did such a great job helping this customer that they sent me a check for $150. And I went ahead and did a message on the side saying, take that down. You're not allowed to receive compensation directly from a customer. It must go through your broker. You know, and she goes, oh, okay, thank you. You know, so that's how that part works. Okay, so that's that part. Now, commercial is a whole other animal. I ain't going there. 99.9999% of you are not doing commercial, but just be aware, if you ever have a commercial deal, ask early on, hey, by the way, is it the same? Because it's different. Okay. Now, what I want to do now is talk about the brokerage partner. Brokerage partner is mandatory for someone like me that wants to be a team leader. You know, well, is a team leader. You know, we weren't given the option. Obviously, we are doing this. And what I do, okay, it really depends upon what the agent wants. You know, that's the beauty of LPT, agent choice. If all you want to do is net the most you can on every given deal, the business builder is the right one for you. If your goal is to build a downline, is to go ahead and build an organization, to earn as many shares of stock as possible. If you want to create a situation where maybe, God willing, in a few years, it's mailbox money, you go once a month and there's a check there that's revenue share paid, then this is the plan for you. And we've had about 3, maybe 4 of our agents that started with the business builder. I call it upgrading. They upgraded to this plan here. Okay. And in that case, it's 80-20 with a 15,000 cap, which is very much in line with what's out there within the market. Okay. If you go to EXP only gives you an 80-20 split option. They don't have something like the business builder. It's $85 a month. And I think their cap, don't quote me, maybe 16,000. Okay. All right. So what's in it for someone that is a business partner? Well, that's where this part comes in. This is where you can earn up to 7 levels deep. Now, if you are even remotely being put off by multi-level marketing, let me tell you about a conversation I just had, I think yesterday or the day before, with an independent broker that I've known for many, many years. The broker said, Tony, you know, I've been involved in multi-level marketing before and I hate it. I never want to do it again. And I go, okay, let me ask you something. What are we selling? And I go, real estate. Yeah, I'm not selling any lotions, potions. detergents. I'm not doing any of that, because you know that many of those type of companies, you're going to someone and say, you see this product that you never, ever, ever have used, or probably ever, ever, ever will use. Now you have to use it. You have to use a certain amount, and you got to sell it to other people that don't need it or want it, and then continue it. In real estate, we all have to be licensed under somebody. So why not put your license with LPT? There isn't that stigma. And he right away said, I never thought about it that way. You're right. They have to be licensed with somebody anyway, and we got a damn good program. So I'm not going to go into a lot of specificity. This just kind of tells you what the potential can be, the caps can be on what you can make. But this was a big enticement for Gabi and myself. Last but not least, earning shares of stock. That's this right-hand column right here. So what happens is there's a baseline. The baseline is how many total shares are available for that level that you're on. Now, this baseline initially was a little higher when LPT first launched, because they needed more incentive. Like, especially like when California launched and all those, Canada, this was beefed up if people were to sign up by a certain time. You can earn shares of stock every year when you sell your first. Now, these are your core transaction. The core transaction, a simple explanation, is a transaction where the company is getting 500 plus 195. If you do the low GCI option, it doesn't count. That's not a core transaction. So that may be something that one or two of you the next time around, well, it doesn't matter if you're on the let me try to say, yes, it does matter, because you earn stock anyway, but you earn more stock. So let's say I want to explain it this way. You're on the business builder. You are closing your first deal. The first deal happens to be a rental that is $2,000. Your option is, one, do I do the low GCI to net more? Okay. Or do I do the 500 plus the 195, because now it's considered a core transaction and it gives me shares of stock. Now, how many shares of stock can you earn? Well, if you're a business builder, notice it's 50. If you're a business partner, it's 100. Now, guys, I know this stuff pretty well, but I also will give this disclaimer. There's always a possibility that something I say may not be accurate. Please allow a little bit of grace. But I think I'm 99.99999% sure that is accurate. You can earn on your first one. You can earn on your third one. In both scenarios, there's 100 up for grab. Now, where it starts to get really interesting is if you can hit gold badge level, which is 15. Now, I know we're talking a lot of production here. I think every single person on this call can do one. Every single person on this call can do 3. Not everyone can do 15. Not everyone can do 35. Okay. And this is only on someone that you directly, well, no, I don't want to confuse you. This is on your personal production. So let's say I sponsor Ashley. I don't think I'm her person. Ashley may be on my second or third level. But Troy, when Troy comes on board, he's going to be on my first level. He is personally sponsored by me. Troy closes his first transaction, then at that point, I'm going to earn 100 shares one time, never make again. It's just that one time. So you earn shares when someone that you personally sponsor makes their first core transaction closing, or on your personal achievements, your personal production. If any of this is something you need more information on, read up on this. And this is something that I have no problem having a conversation with someone that is serious about maybe making the step. And look, I'm the first one that will tell you, honestly, even though it benefits me more to have all of you as business partners, I won't let you be a business partner, not that I can stop you, if I don't think it's the best move for you. I'm going to be very vocal in saying, all right, change my mind. What are you going to do that's going to make this beneficial for you? Again, in the right hands, it can be powerful. but I just want you to understand it. Any questions on that you want to unmute yourself and ask, and then we're going to move on. Okay. The last thing that I wanted to show you from here is going back to LPT Connect here. Oh no, actually I got a couple more things to show you. Almost forgot. I carried away. All right, I'm not an expert. Here's where another disclaimer. Okay. The one that knows this far better than me is Gabi, and my poor wife is not feeling well. And I says, okay, honey, don't worry about it. She wasn't feeling well yesterday, not feeling well today. I go, let me see if I can do it. So here's what I did, right? I went in, I go, well, can't hurt. I clicked on Lofty. And then now I've already been activated. So some of you may have to go through 2 or 3 steps before you get to this point, right? But this is the thing I wanted to show you, because there's just so much here to learn. And see how once you're here, you can go into a learning center. Yeah, watch as many videos as you can. I don't even know what these things are. But I would imagine that these have to do with emails that you could set up to automatically be sent out to people that are entered into your CRM. But what I wanted to focus on was this area over here where it says listings. Now, this is where the IDX feed is. So like mine, it's being reviewed because I just activated a couple 3 days ago, and there's paperwork that needs to be signed by the broker and the MLS so that I can get the IDX feed so that I can see all of the listings without the listing agent's name popping up on every one of them, right? Here under marketing is the one that I think you guys should get really excited about. I go under marketing and notice you have all of these options. You got to go in and play around with all of these different things, right? You can even get direct mail ordered through here. But I wanted to go into the listing blast area, right? And I clicked on where it says view details. And I click here because I don't have any personal listings. If Gabi was the one that was logged here, her listings would be popping up, and her ads that she's run before, I haven't. So I started playing around. I go, man, what do I click on? I go, I guess I would click here where it says promote a listing, right? And then I'm going, man, I don't have any listings to promote. Because what happens is when you enter a listing, right, to get your presentation book and all that, a kit and all that, it's already in the system. So I went ahead and said, all right, so what do I do? Let me see. It says here, select listing manually. And I said, let me find the listing. And I went, and Gabi posted one of her listings today for you guys to share. So I went ahead and put 10103 Southwest. And here, let me see one. I don't even know if that's it. I don't think it's this one. It's supposed to be, but I'm going to pick it anyway, right? And I hit save. So there is this listing here. And what you really do, this is how simple it is. How much money you got? That's really what it comes down to. In fact, I don't understand why. I'm going to try one more thing here and see. Maybe I put in too much information. Listen manually. And I put 10103. Yeah, that's the only one that's coming up. Unless I'm using the wrong address.
It's 10132.
Oh, thank you. That's what I was thinking. I go, I'm doing this wrong. Okay. Okay, that didn't work. I'm gonna start over. 10132. Okay, are you sure it's that? Let me exit out here, list manually. Okay.
Yeah, so hi everyone. So it's 10132 Northwest 4th.
Okay, I think that what you shared today said Southwest.
No, today I share something else, but if you have your listing, if you have your own listing and it's on the MLS, the beauty of this, if you have connected this system to your MLS, it will add the listing automatically. Like you don't have to do it, but in Lofty will send you an email to advising you that it has been added to your Lofty so you can start promoting. But you also can add any listing that doesn't belong to you but belongs to LPT office, and then you can add it manually and you can promote the listing. But that will you will have to enter it manually.
Are you
Once you-
sure? Are you sure it's 10132? I know it's your own listing, but I can't be that old. I wrote down 10103.
No, the one that I shared today, it's 16. It's let me give it to you.
I would love to get one of yours. So give me a different
The one that I shared today is 16103 Southwest. 16103 Southwest.
Yeah, I think this thing has a thing where if you start and it doesn't like 10163.
No, 16103. 16103.
Okay, so
161.
well, you would think it would pop up, right? And it's not. Okay. So
Well,
I'm just gonna pick something else. I'm gonna pick this one here and I hit save. So there's all the information here. Now, how much you want to spend per week? This is important, guys. Don't walk past this because this is dollars. This is dollars. So you got to decide what's in your budget. I think in session number 1, I told you that do cost neutral. Look at what you're willing to give up. If you got 15 different subscription services for TV, maybe you can live with 14 or 13 and you're freeing up some money. But let's say your budget allows $25 per week, okay? Because that's $100 a month. Now, how many weeks? Because you want to click here, it's going to tell you, hey, if you do this for 4 weeks, okay, let me see. Let's change this here. Oh, no, there's a minimum. It's the minimum that you have to do. So in other words, let me go down here to 1 week. And let me put here 25 and see if it accepts that.
no, it's a minimum.
It's a minimum.
It depends on the area, depends on the city.
Yeah, I think it's $4. I think in the screen before that, it said $4. Okay, all right. So here's what I would be looking at. My budget, I guess bare minimum in this scenario is I have to find $69 from somewhere. I find $69, I select 1 week, and then I go over here and go, I'm estimated that I can probably get about 2,000 views from this. Now, careful payment method, recurring or one time. Okay, don't screw that up because I've done that, I think, on a couple of social media thing. I didn't know what I want. I'm getting this, what the hell? And the budget went completely nuts. So then here, you click where it says, I have read. Now, how does it bill you? Well, you already have your credit card information in the system already. This is what the ads would look like. And then you would check out. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. What's that? Now, Gabby, give me a real life scenario. When you've done this, what did you spend and how many leads came in?
I tested the system and I spent the $69 and I was going nuts because I got like 40 leads.
4 or 40?
40.
40. Okay. So that's not bad. Did you put it for 1 week?
I put it for 1 week because I wanted to try the system. So I just did it for 1 week. I paid $69.
Okay. All right. Guys, do you have any questions on that? Can you see how this could be a game changer for you? When you're sitting there going, man, where am I going to get 2 leads per day that I'm supposed to get? I don't know. Again, a lot of these people are door knockers. I mean, tire kickers and all that kind of stuff, but it's okay. It's volume, volume, volume.
Is
So
this
go ahead and
going out in an email to a certain location?
No, this is not. Okay, I don't know any. This is not an email. This is Facebook.
It's
This is
Facebook.
Only
And
Facebook. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Gabi, anything that goes on Facebook goes on Instagram too, right? Or no?
Yes.
Mm, okay. Yeah, this is not an email marketing plan. I don't think they offer anything like that because there's a lot of problems with the spamming and all that. This is social media advertising.
Okay, thank
And
you.
what they've done is they made it so that it's easy to do. So we can advertise essentially any listing that is LPT. Now, every now and then you find an agent out there that's, for lack of a better term, a jerk. That's like, I didn't give you permission to do it. You find that on maybe multi-million-dollar properties where it's like, how dare you market my listing without permission?
But we're allowed because we have an office. So we have an email from corporate LPT where they authorize us to market any LPT listings that are between Florida. So when you go to your MLS, there's a section there that says my office listings. That means that it's like 400 to 500. That means you can promote any of those that are in your office. We're allowed to do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Any other questions on that?
Yeah, just one. From the 40 leads, did any of them pan out?
One, I'm still working with him.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And again, here's the thing.
I'm
I
sorry,
end-
Tony. There are verified leads. There are not bogus leads because they come from Facebook. So you are going to get their email, their names, and their phone numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. What I was going to say is that oftentimes that's a question that's asked by a lot of real estate agents. Is what you're doing working? And just because it didn't work for you doesn't mean it won't work for me. Okay. Because again, what's the X factor there? Me versus you. So it's you can't make blanket decisions like that. And at the same time, it's vice versa, right? Something could have worked for somebody. It's like this, right? Even a blind squirrel can find a nut. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So lightning can hit. So what you have to do is commit to a budget that Now, the temptation might be to advertise a listing that is a newfangled, incredible listing, whatever. But is it really a listing that you're comfortable with that price range, and can you handle it? I think that I would promote a I would promote a $600 to $700 or $800,000 listing all day long. Why? The median price of homes in Broward County is almost $800,000. So why would I do it? Why would I do a $150,000 condo? That ain't the market I'm trying to do. Now, maybe, just maybe, if I put a $2 or $3 million property up there, assuming that a $2 or $3 million buyer is going to be on Facebook looking, which I don't know about that, that may not be something that you're ready for. So stick to what you know, right? Stick to what you know. So now here's where you go back and say, I got to find me $69. So give me some ideas. If you were right now scrambling this, I want to give you some ideas. You write this down, right? You got a sofa, look under the cushions. Look under the cushions. Do you have any change there? Because most people do. You got pants. Chances are there's some dollars in pants that you hung up. You got purses you haven't used for a while. Check there. Now I'm joking with you, but I've been so broke. I remember the one day I was so broke. My God, I was hungry, and I went through my pockets and I found $5, and I go, I can eat now. So I find the money. Give me an idea. What could you cut right now out of your budget that could free up $69 for you to do some Facebook advertising? Who's willing to share an idea of something you can cut back on? Coffee. All right. So coffee's cheap, isn't it? I know coffee's for closers, but is coffee cheap? I've never understood the concept of paying $7, $8, $9 up for a cup of coffee. Okay. Fast food and junk food. You know what Gabi and I do that we didn't even know it was a thing? We do intermediate fasting, and I didn't know that was a thing. Normally, we'll go ahead and have lunch at 3 o'clock. when we look at each other and say, I can't go on anymore. And sometimes what we do is we just split one. Okay. Lewis is going to make the ultimate sacrifice in cutting back on shots. Now, tell me if that's not commitment. If that's not commitments. Maybe the man can go through 8 or 9 shots and everything else. Troy says, have a garage sale, sell junk. Let me tell you something. When I lived in California, I was so broke, man. Those were days I want to forget, that I had all this office equipment, all this stuff like that. Sure enough, I did a garage sale with all this office equipment and raised like $1,500 from it. There you go. Okay. Junk food, everything else. Again, I don't know if I'm getting buy-in from you on this, and this is where I'm just talking to myself. But when we come back in October, I've already have a date set aside for us to reconvene and see what you're doing. If you guys haven't at least tried this once, I got to ask you, what's the problem? Okay. And again, keep in mind, a lot of you have friended me on Facebook. I know everything you're doing. It was amazing how many people had money for a cruise, but no money to promote themselves. Okay. I see people constantly posting photos of these expensive dinners they're at, but they can't pay their board dues. So keep in mind, it's a business and you got to feed that beast all the time. All right. So that's that. And then, so I want to do is go back.
Hey, Tony, can I share something really quick?
Please.
So everyone on here is LPT, right?
Yes.
So everyone has this ability, and I will tell you that, Gabby, thanks for sharing the fact that they're all they're verified and they all have great information, because I will tell you right now that I use a service that costs me $150 a month, and then my ad spend is way more than that if I'm going to put this kind of ad out on Facebook, and nothing's verified. I get Donald Duck at Disney.com. And I have to create the entire ad myself. And it's supposed to be, the way these ads work, is supposed to be target marketed for people that type in keywords or a specific geographical area. That's how mine works. And I'll tell you, it is easily double the cost of this. And I get leads, but most are junk. And it's good to hear that your fearless leader, Gabby, is getting quality leads. And if you guys have this ability, you add this to the other things that we've talked about the past day or so, AI, video, any other marketing, what you're doing, this is a really powerful tool. When I have Lofty, which will be in about a month, you can bank on the fact that I will teeter off of this with video, because this is amazing. If I'm getting one lead per ad that I put out like that on Facebook, and Gabby's getting, say, 40 prospects, even if she turns them into 1 or 2 true leads that she's working with for $100, $69, I look at that going, that's pay dirt. So yeah. you guys at LPT, you guys have this going on, and that's awesome for anyone that has never been down the path that probably Tony and I have, where, we took bottles and cans back to be able to pay for marketing or have food. And $70, $100 to get a $5,000 to $10,000 check, I would really think about it. So you made a good point, Tony. But I just wanted to share, I pay way more than that for the same kind of service with what I have.
Yeah, brother. Thanks for sharing. I mean, this is just the reality of it. This is something. And by the way, since it's all being done through Lofty, it's connected to your CRM. As the leads come in, they go into your CRM. You don't have to do another step. And then if you really, really, really want to take it to another level, pay an upgrade to incorporate AI into the equation. So the AI is handling the initial communications with the lead. It's amazing the stuff that we have at our disposal right now that just we couldn't even begin to imagine back in the day when we had the MLS book in our hands. It's just crazy. I think that you got to spend as much time learning Lofty as you can from the perspective of the CRM, especially. The CRM can be one of the most powerful tools you have. That's the most underused tool you have. When you start to learn how to do sequences, I'm sure it does sequences and auto emails and everything else, you just automate your life. What you spend maybe 2 or 3 hours learning how to do will save you countless hours in the future by you automating what it is that you're doing. Now, the last thing I think I'm going to cover from here, you guys are seeing my connect again, still connect, okay? Bottom right on my screen is digital buyer presentation. So here's the thing. This is a test. This is not a test that you can fail. This is just for me to know that if I should ever do this training again, is this something I even want to cover? How many of you are currently using this digital buyer presentation? You know, you can show in the chat or something like that. In other words, you have clicked on that tile and it takes you to where it says manage your pre-showing agreement. Has anybody used this at all? Okay. So you see what I suffer as what Gabi and I suffer as team leaders, and before when we were spending money out of our pocket to provide agents with technology that they would never use, that's when we said this is enough is enough. You know how agents are constantly griping that they can't get the customer to sign a BBA. The way I look at it is the Miami board has 3 different levels that you can introduce a commitment or satisfy NAR's requirement that the buyer must sign something ahead of time, right? They have basically the showing agreement, then it steps up to touring agreement, or it might be vice versa. You know, one is the other one is property specific, and then the bad mama jamma of the all is the exclusive buyer broker agreement, which is what you want. You want to get to the point where you're so comfortable presenting and doing a presentation about your services and what your value proposition is, that at the end they're begging you, Liz, will you please let me work with you? Now, for a lot of us, you need to get there. This is the most basic thing you can have them sign, and I don't think there's a whole lot of reasons for them not to sign it. But here's the difference with what LPT has done to help us that the one-page thing from the board doesn't. When you put that one-page thing in front of them, it can just kind of look at it like, man, I'm scared. I don't even know what I'm signing. But what if what you are sending them has all of this content built in? Here's the first thing you need to do. Homework assignment for tonight. I don't want to hear it. You send one of these to yourselves. You make believe you're the buyer and you're sending it to yourself so that you know what it is that your prospect is getting. Now, let me hit you with this. You see how all this is in English? I can click here, y ahora está en español. So the information is available in English and Spanish. Now, you see all this content here? You might say, you know what? I don't want to overwhelm them. I think this is too much. Let me not include this or this one. I don't want to include that. Now you cut back on some of that. Now you go ahead and say, hold on a second. What does this say? And then you say, wait a minute. I want to customize it. Now you see the content that comes under benefits of ownership or best practices, and you click where it says customize, and here's the content. Now you can go in and say, you know what, wherever it's generic, I want to put my name in. Are you guys feeling me here? You can just send it as is, and it's amazing information. They're saying, these are all the best practices. Here's why you should work with an agent, blah, 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 blah. Now, you want to get to the point where you want to send them this, right? So in addition to all this information, there's also something for them to electronically sign. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? So you click over here where it says send agreement, and then it wants you to go ahead and ignore or go back because I made some changes, and I want to say ignore. Now, it says here that you modified it. I'm clicking, I'm accepting it. Now, here's where you put the information that pertains to that customer. Their name, their email address, their phone number. Hey, when I work with a buyer, I don't work for anything less than 2.5 sandwiches. That's how much I want to make. Okay, so you put that on there. Next, you say, do you have a transaction fee? Well, oh yeah, of course I do. My transaction fee is $695. Okay. And then any additional comments, you probably won't do it. Remember, this is just something to get the compliance out of the way. This is something that if you're at an open house or someone came by an open house and like, yeah, I would really like for you to start working with me. This is something you could send right out of the gate that can have power. And then you are going to email it to them and you hit the send agreement link. And then you go ahead and see which ones you sent and whether they have signed it or not. Tell me if that's not cool. And that's been there ever since August 18th of last year when the whole thing went into play. That's how long it's been there. And our agents are not using it. It's amazing, isn't it? Assignment, send it to yourselves so that you know what it is that they're getting. Also, play around with the customization so you can feel comfortable. You want to know what every single one of those items say. So you might say, you know what, this is a little bit over the top, or this might be just a little too overwhelming for them to get on this first time. And then I go ahead and I pull back on some information there. Okay. Let me see what else we got here. Okay. All right. We got that. So we good, folks? Did all that make sense?
Tony, that is so cool. I just sent one to myself and it comes right into a text.
Yeah. Yes, right. Because you have a ghost profile there. You have it. So that's awesome, brother.
Yeah, I got some VIP service from you, brother. I appreciate that. I'm
So
blown away. Wow.
now, so wait a minute. The text, they got an email, or you as the agent got a text, or the consumer got a text, or both?
I got a text as a consumer because I use my California phone.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. And it gives you the option to go in there and electronically sign and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm afraid to open it because I understand agents are weird, and once I sign something, I'm going to be legally bound.
Well, if you won't sign an agreement to work with yourself, then I don't know what to tell you. I think it's pretty hopeless at that point.
Brother,
All
I
right.
have issues you don't even know about.
All right, folks, give me some feedback. Tell me something. I don't know. Lie. I don't care. Just tell me something.
That sounds really good, Tony. Very, very good. One thing I wanted to go over that you haven't gone over is about the personal website for LPT that you have, that each agent has.
Yeah, no, so that's under the Lofty. So under Lofty, since you came on board after we had made the move already, you have to pay the one-time $99 activation fee to have access to Lofty and everything else. And then after that is, and maybe Gabi can share, because I don't have the experience from someone that's having to start over. Someone mentioned the other day a $49 fee to or something.
No,
That
there's no fee. There's no fee. There's no fee. It's
well,
just
here's what I want clarification, because I know who wrote it. I know I saw the response. There's no fee to activate Lofty if you were part of the original crew that came over from Xtreme International.
Yeah, I was. Okay.
No, you weren't.
Was it? Yes,
I
I was.
don't think so. I don't think so. I could be wrong. It's over a year ago. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but it was like, this is for the folks that joined us June to July of the year before. No, we're talking, what was it, 2023, Gabi, that we did that? Or no, 2024.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
came in March.
Yeah. So God bless you. Now, everybody else that starts off script, they may say, boom, wait a minute, you got to pay $99. And that's where it stops them there.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's
But
but
definitely.
like I wanted to say, it's totally worth it because before we switched to LPT, I was contacted by one of these companies that they claim they are going to provide you with a website that is going to bring you business, and they start my website from scratch, and they build it and they charge me like $1,000 set a fee, and I was paying $200 a month. Horrible website. It didn't give me anything. Now I have LPT. I don't pay anything. I have my website. My website has IDX. I can customize the website a bit. I can connect my CRM to that website. I have an app on the bottom of the website. There's a QR code that people can scan it, and then
Or
they
mi
will.
amor, why don't I just make you a co-host and you can share your screen and show it?
Okay, but I don't want to show my face.
You don't have to show your face, but you're gorgeous. And by the way, it was $1,000 setup fee. I don't remember you asking me permission to go ahead and spend that money.
I did.
I don't remember that, but you and I will just
know.
have to have a
The
conversation.
mistakes that we make, when we get in the hands of great salespeople. But yeah.
Hold on, I got to make you a co-host so that you can share your screen. Where the heck are you? Okay, hold on. Okay, so now you can share your screen and you don't have to have the video on.
Okay, one moment. Let me see. How do I do this? Okay.
bottom.
Oh, share. Okay.
Yeah, bottom of the Zoom thing, yeah.
So this is my website. I was able to add the Xtreme by LPT logo. I changed this part that says Sonia Gaby Martinez, where home begins. I replaced that beach photo. That's a photo that I purchased online. So nobody sues me because I'm using somebody else's photo. Then if you scroll down, I uploaded my photo in there. I don't know if you're able to see it. Then I entered my information. I connected all my social media platforms. This, if you see on top, it says gabymartinez.lpthomesearch.com. And that is because LPT owns this domain name, homesearch.com. But if you type sold by Gaby, it's going to forward to this website. And then if you scroll down.
Mi amor, hold on 1 second. So
Mhm.
all of you can try putting your name .lpthomesearch.com and see if anything comes up.
Correct.
And that's separate and apart from your recruiting website. We all have a recruiting website and everything else, but you see, this is what is called a subdomain name. The domain name is lpthomesearch.com. And it became a subdomain because they just add the name of the agent in front. Now, you see how Gaby has a domain name here that is sold by Gaby there? She can have that redirecting or forwarding to this website. And that's what I meant by, I think it was last week when I said you all should go get your own domain names and have your domain names point or redirect to the, that's what you could do.
Or forward or mask.
Yes. Yeah, well, there's forwarding and masking. Masking is when you're forwarding and it keeps your domain name at the top and never changes. So if you have it forwarding with mask, then this doesn't pop up. It always just shows your domain name.com. So that's the difference between just forwarding and forwarding with mask if your register has that option.
So the website, for example, like if you see it, you can click here where it says book appointment. So I have tested myself and somebody can click in there and it will bring them to this page. And they give them like a Calendly account for free too. That's included. And then let's say, for example, the person selects the 21st. I will get confirmation that that person is trying to meet with me. So there's also this on the bottom that automatically pops up and they say, how can I help you? and that person is going to interact with you, and the person starts typing in there, I will also be notified that somebody is on my website. They can register to receive listings. They can go into the all listing sections, and they're going to see my listings, but they're also going to see all the listings, all the LPT listings in Florida. So it looks good because let's say, for example, you have 0 listings, right? It shows like you have a lot of listings. It shows like these are your listings.
Mi amor, hold on a second. Isn't this the IDX feature? So if the
Yeah.
this IDX it's going to be all the listings in the MLS, not just the it's
Correct.
not just the LPT ones.
Yeah, so all listings, and then I think it shows also. So
Do me a favor,
listings.
go back and click on one of the listings so you could see what IDX means. It means that the customer is seeing the information, but it's not showing the listing agent's name.
So if they go, you can customize this so they can go into buy or sell. If they go to buy, if you know, they can go here also as well. Hold on. They can click here also, buy. And they can search for listings in here to the right. I'm sorry, to the left.
Click on one of those to open up the detail of that listing. Okay, so keep scrolling. Like right now, I'm not seeing.
And then see, it prompts them to register. That is the beauty of a real website. That is something that I didn't have on my other website. Anybody can go to that other, I'm sorry, stupid website that I have, paying $200 a month. And that website didn't even have this feature. So if somebody's going to my website, they're forced to register, and they give them the freedom to do it with Gmail and Facebook, which is better for them. And I will get notified immediately when they register. So that's one of the things that I like about this one.
So you can't move past the screen right now then because you
No, they
I
have to register.
Yeah, okay. But don't be surprised, guys, when you ever see a listing that is available through your website with IDX. IDX stands for Internet Data Exchange. And I'm old enough to remember when that was a new thing. The 2 biggest things that ever happened in real estate was when the MLS went on computers on the internet, and IDX, because IDX is you take the name of the listing agent off. It looks like you're the listing agent. There's no contact information for the listing agent. There's no way for them to click on there. There's no phone number for the listing office. Now, it should say listing courtesy of Coldwell Banker. It's supposed to identify in small print, identify listing courtesy of blank blank, but there's nothing else. There's no way for them to click on it or anything else.
So there are other options here that if they, for example, they want to sell a property, they can go here where it says home valuation. They can enter their home address in here, and the system will create a home valuation for them. And I will get notified that they're on my website doing this. See, they give them a free home valuation. And then they can click
That's
on
amazing.
the free analysis, or start now. And it will say, it will show their homes. It's really, really cool. It's like unbelievable. And I'm paying nothing for this.
Wow. Okay. And when you had the AI feature, I know you paused it for a little bit. How much were you paying for the AI feature, and what exactly was that?
I was paying, oh, I wanted to show you something. Let me go back to my email. So I'm gonna, hold on, I'm trying to see because I'm looking on my phone. See how I get these? So I registered like I was a customer. So they received the report from my website. And that's it. So if the customer is doing this on my website, they will receive that email as well with my information, my phone number and everything.
Awesome.
And also it's gonna notify me like, see,
Okay. So
Ali Gabby Martinez requested home evaluation. That is Lofty, the Lofty assistant, basically. And this is also free.
you guys always want to do one. You want to like pretend you're a customer so that you know that the emails are actually being received, because sometimes your system might consider anything coming from Lofty as spam. So you're going to want to make sure that those leads are not going into your spam or junk file. So you test it with yourself, and it should show up in your inbox, just like it did for Gabi.
So, let me go to the website. So the website also, besides having all that, you scroll to this and then see that QR code. That is, the clients can point their phones to there and they will get your app. They will get your app, and you can also, from your phone, when you scan this QR code, you can copy your app link and add it to your, for example, email signature.
That's awesome. But let's say,
And
I'm sorry, honey. So let's say you're at an open house or you're meeting someone in a checkout line at a supermarket or something, and it's like you got a business card. I go, I can do better than that. Why don't you just get my app? And then what you do is, since you have the QR code readily available, just scan my code. Everyone knows how to scan QR codes now. They're not new anymore.
Well, you can I don't have my, I cannot use my phone right now, but like if somebody scans that with your cell phone right now, you're gonna be able to, there's like a drop down that you can copy your link. But any customer can scan this. So what happens is, once they scan that, it will take them to Lofty and they will download the, I'm sorry, it's not called Lofty app. It's a different name. And then it's going to be downloaded with your information.
Closely.
Closely, thank you. So when you send the link from there, when they scan this QR code and they go to the Play Store and they download the app, it will download with your information. So they are going to be able to see your photo, your phone number, your email, and everything. You are going to become their agent on that app. And if they start searching for homes from the app, you will get notified of the homes they're seeing. And then also the app will send the customer emails like every 2 weeks about the new homes that are hitting the market that are related to the criteria that he was looking for. And it's going to be like very nice emails, like you type it yourself and you didn't do anything. And again, it's not costing you. So
I love it.
I have a question. This is for Gabby. Gabby, how do you change the picture? Because I do have a website, but how do you change the picture to put the picture that you want on your website? Because it has a generic one on there now.
So that is something that I start doing it, and I kind of like start playing around with it. Maybe settings, and then maybe somewhere in here. I will have to get back to you on that, because it was one day I was like playing around and I'm like, okay, how do I do this? And I think I went to the website. I can see everybody's website because, of course, you know. And then I think I click, yeah, I think I click on the website. Maybe not.
Yeah, you can get
Yeah,
back.
it's here. It's here. I think it's around here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like editor. Yeah, it's here. Uh-huh. And here you change everything. So
I love it.
yeah.
Under edit.
Uh,
Okay.
Uh-huh. Then you see this button right here to the right?
Yeah.
You click here and that's why you start like changing whatever you want.
And you'll
See?
be able to grab a picture from your pictures in your photo or something like that to put it there.
Say that again? Like what photo? What?
I have a picture in my album, so I can take that album picture that I want to use and put it there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see how each section has like an edit button right here to the right top?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And there
Okay.
you click here and you change whatever you want.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, it's something that you have to sit down and, you know, little by little, you know, it takes a little time because you're customizing your own website.
Okay.
But, you know, it's right here. It's an editor.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Something I'd like to point out, I think yesterday we were in the office and somebody was saying, who even uses business cards anymore? I go, well, keep in mind, it's generational. I'm actually in the baby boomer category, right? A baby boomer is more likely to say, do you have a business card? And then what's the one under that? Is it millennial that comes next or something? They're more likely to say, do you have a website? And then there's the next one. Is that Gen X or something? They're going to say, do you have an app? And then the younger ones are going to say, what's your social media handle? What's your Instagram handle? What's your, see what I'm saying? You have to have one to cater to each of the demographics that you have. You're going to have some folks that are not necessarily comfortable with technology. I mean, we still have people that agents have to physically get them to sign on the dotted line because they just don't use technology.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's just that Carol registered into the Lofty on the Closely app.
Yeah, there you
and,
go.
And then I received a buyer alert. I just wanted to show you guys, see how immediately you receive an email notifying you that the person download your app.
Yeah, you should have so here's an example, right? When you download your own app, you get to see the link address. That's what Gabby was talking about. Now you can copy that link address and you can either share the link address or you could share the QR code. That needs to be part of your signature.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to do a post that says to view listings throughout Broward and Miami-Dade and Broward County, click here. To view tens of thousands of listings available, click here. Start promoting that link. When you are calling people and you're saying, hey, listen, I got a challenge and I got to come up with X number of leads. Do you know anybody? I go, no, bro, but I can definitely keep you in mind. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you my link. And anybody you share that link with them. Right? Isn't that much easier than saying, let me mail you some business cards that you can hand out? So that's the kind of stuff you got to start doing. I'm shocked at how many agents do not use their emails as a way of generating business, because emails are forwarded to other people. And what happens is your signature, Gabby, you want to show your signature? Now, Gabby's signature, I'm not having it because I think this woman's gone too far. But who am I to go ahead and say anything? But could you show them what your signature looks like? You definitely know what she does for a living. Keep going.
That's it.
I don't know about that.
That's it. I don't
Look,
have anything
keep
else.
scrolling down. It's cut off. See?
No, there's nothing else. That's
Okay,
it.
well, you look at all the different links you have there. Okay, so you got links directly to your different platforms. Okay, I got it. Now, where did you get that graphic that's there?
Canvas.
Also, in Canva, you created that right there?
Mm-hmm. If you have Canvas, Canvas is free unless you want to have the Pro. But there's an option there that you can create signatures, templates. And then
Ah,
basically, yeah, it's a template. And then
now,
you select the colors you want and you upload the photo and the template and the logo. But you have to be sure that you want to have your phone number right here. I have it here, but you also need to have it like under here. Because let's say, for example, somebody wants to call you and they are on their cell phone, they are not going to be able to click your phone number over the of their image. So they can from their phone, they can click here, right click, and their phone is going to show call. So that's why that's the secret. If you want to do this, always have your phone number here. Because they're not going to be able to click from here unless you have a hyperlink or something. I don't know.
yeah,
but
I may be able to set that up for you where you can just insert a hyperlink to either open up your email or something. But do me a favor, see where it says join Xtreme by LPT, click here. See how she's got different things here? So, okay, I would change that, Gabi. I would change that. That's going right to where someone signs up and they're not ready to sign up. That's the link you would send to someone. You want to send them to your redirect them to your attraction page. All of you have an attraction page.
this one?
That's the one you want to send them to.
Well, there's two.
Well, it depends on, see, you said learn about LPT Realty, but is that a consumer wanting to learn about LPT
No,
Realty?
this is my recruiting site.
Yeah, that's the one that you want join Xtreme to point to.
Uh-huh. Okay. And this is the other one. This is when they're ready.
Yeah, now, guys, just because someone says, hey, I want to join LPT, how do I do it? All of you have your own individual links that you can send them that inserts you as the sponsor. So that, even if the person says, oh man, I forgot who I talked to, they click on the link and it automatically inserts you as a sponsor. I love this. This is great. Click on the one that says Google, please. Find me on Google, because how many of you have your own Google page? So that's her page. And notice she's got 55 5-star reviews.
Excellent.
All of you need a Google page. I can't tell you how many agents, before they interview with me, they say, well, we already checked you out. Can you find the Xtreme one, honey? Go ahead and show them the Xtreme one.
I have a question. If you have a Google page and you have that red dot there that shows where she's at, will it be pointing to your home or would it be pointing to Xtreme LPT?
Gabi, it's probably the business address that you listed when you set it up, right?
So what happened is Google, they need to verify you. They need to be sure that you are not just random person trying to open a Google business page to scam people. So the way they do it, it's they verify you, and they can only verify you sending you a text code. I'm sorry, sending you a code, but it has to be to a landline. Who has a landline now? Right? So the other way they verify you is sending you a private code, but it has to be to your address and it has to be your business address. So let's say for example, you want to create your Google account, you will need to register your broker's address because that is an actual business address. And the Google will send you like a closed postcard, secure kind of thing, to that address between 2 weeks after you created your Google page. And there will be a code that you had to enter on your Google page, and then they will verify you and it will be active.
Now, Anthony just wrote something there. Take a look on the chat about maybe not needing that anymore. What does it say there? Let me see. I can maybe see it. It says here.
Thank
It says,
goodness.
it says you can sign up without an address now, but a verification address is needed, but your address won't show unless you want it. Okay.
Yeah, they need to verify that there's no like you're trying to scam people or something.
Right. Now, I have a question, Gabi. Where's my photo in that picture? I mean, I see you, but where's me? Because if I recall, there's a version of that photo that has both of us. What's up with that?
Oh, okay, how about this one?
No, that's when I still had semi hair. No. Okay. No, but I'm just kind of wondering what's going on here. You spend $1,000 or $2,000
Oh
without
my
talking to
God, that's
me.
a conversation for another day, okay?
I have another question. I signed up for this closely because I seen that you had it on my website, and it asked me to put in my email address, in which I did. But when I put it in, it came up and said, "Hi, it's your agent, Dr. Alicia Self," from my email address.
Oh,
So then it says, "Not your agent," and I clicked on that, and it gave me a list of 4 other agents when I used my email address. So I'm not even able to get my QR code. Should I contact who about that?
Well, it just going. It's going to be when you go into support tickets. It's a drop down
that is
menu.
for Lofty. That is for Lofty. So
Lofty.
Lofty, yeah. So that may be because somebody have been probably looking into homes before. I heard about that before. You have to send an email to support@lofty.com. They are very good in responding.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and Anna wrote, I thought Gabi was the boss and handled the money and all that kind of stuff. And yes, it
True.
is.
I
So,
am.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just messing around because she's the boss.
Choose your battles wisely.
I haven't picked the right battle yet, brother. 25 years, I've survived this long by just saying yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. Going back to the class, I wanted to show you something. There's this section that's called Marketplace. And here are all the options that you can select to market yourself. So for example, and I'm sure Troy is aware of this one, Google PPC ads, Google local server ads, Lofty seller ads. And there's also like this one that's called zip code blast. You click there and it's like see that to the right, like this advertising. So like you select a zip code.
Wow.
You select the zip code and then you select, and this is the amount of leads that you may get. So all these options are there. Try to get Zillow leads. It's going to be like $1,500 a month for something decent. For this is really this is really decent. See, you can do it. You can do it for 1 week if you want. And then select it. So if you want to like select a zip code that you like because you're very aware of the marketing, I mean the market there, like the type of homes and everything. And that's how it's going to look.
So
Mhm.
it's popping up on their feed.
Correct. Yeah. That's all here. The
We gotta go spend
marketplace.
some money.
The marketplace. And also, if you have a listing, you can do the listing blast. There's a lot of different things. This is what you were seeing before.
Mhm.
See? All your listings are going to show up immediately. If you have listings. If not, you can add it manually. Adding in here. So you can get anybody's listing. Mm-hmm. See?
Oh, and you can edit the description or something?
You have to have a Facebook, what's the name? A Facebook page, but a business Facebook page to do all these things. It's not going to be working on your personal one. So I have my business connected. And then it's going to invite people to go to my website.
Mhm.
That's how you get the leads. You can customize all of these things. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of benefits. It's just that you guys need to play around and at least have an investment every month, because you want to make money, you need to invest money. I don't want to say spend money, but
Invest, yeah.
Plus, if you have a listing and you're working with a seller, you want to show them that you are going to do promotions that also going to benefit you, bringing you leads, not just posting the listing on your personal page. That's it. You want to show the clients that you also do these type of things. You go with your computer to a listing presentation and you show this to your clients and say, this is what I'm going to do. When they ask you, how are you going to promote my home? Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to run promotions.
Do we
That's
have
what.
anything like this is what you do to promote step one, do this, step two, do that, step three, do that. So this way everything is covered. So when they do say to you, what are you going to do to promote my home? We have sort of like a guideline of a list of everything that we're going to complete on our end before they even ask.
Well, that's up to you, because that is whatever you are willing to do. I have these that I created myself because these are the things that I'm willing to do for my clients. So if every time I have a listing presentation, I bring this with me. And
It's not showing it.
okay, hold on.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about a suggested list of things that you're doing that you
Yeah.
might put out for us to do as far as a guideline for us to consider.
Well, it really starts with what are you willing to do for your clients for every listing. So, I mean, I have no problem sharing this with you guys. I'm not selfish. So it's totally okay. But I started with my market analysis, my marketing strategy, what I'm planning on doing, scheduling digital photos, installing Supra if you want, create a custom color brochure, install a for sale sign, my communication.
If I may, the fact that Gaby's willing to share it is awesome, because you can just go down the list and say, well, I can do or I can't do this. And here's an idea, right? Because the listing presentation is an art form. But let's say someone is challenging what you want to earn on that, right? Someone, and just hypothetically, you want to get two and a half sandwiches for what you're doing, and they're saying adamantly, no, the most I'm willing to pay. Just keep in mind that the way the listing presentation should be happening in this day and age is you're not going in there saying we're working for 5 sandwiches or 6 sandwiches. No, you should be saying on the list side, I get this much. Okay, you get them to agree on how much they're willing to pay you or how much you're expecting them to pay you. And after you've achieved an agreement on that, then you say, now, by the way, you know, especially given today's environment, you're going to want to, or, you know, basically it's optional for you to pay the commission to the buyer broker, but I think it's probably a good investment given the situation in the market. Somebody comes to me and says, well, okay, but you're asking 3 sandwiches. I'm only willing to pay you 2.5 or 2. Then scroll up your list again, Gabi. Go to the very top of your list and say, huh, now there's so many things I could say. I could say, wait a minute. I get it. You need to net the most money you can. But let me ask you something. If I were just to go ahead and say, okay, fine, I'll work for less. I mean, in other words, if I would cave, essentially just give in to this request of yours so quickly when it's my money, can you just imagine how quickly I'd be willing to give up your money? You know, if somebody, I mean, don't you want a bulldog that's representing you? You're not a puppy, right? There's so many different strategies. I mean, we can go over those scripts. You can go to Glover U, Floyd Wickman. They're all there. They're wonderful. You practice them so that they feel natural. But one of the ones I've always loved, and I don't think enough agents do it, is you go ahead and you have it in packages. In other words, this is the platinum package. In other words, I believe in platinum level service, right? And somebody says, well, I only want to pay 2. So we're going to need to look at gold level then, or we're going to need to look at silver level then. And then what you do is you take this sheet of paper and say, okay, so from the marketing strategy, here's a pen. I need you to eliminate 5 of these items. Which 5 do you want me to cut out? Because what you're asking for is not included in that price point. And the person is going to say, well, I want digital photos. Oh, they might be able to come up with 1. It says, no, it's 5. If you're going to want to get a discount from me, and that's only on the marketing side. I need to talk to you about some of the other areas as well, because it amazes me how quickly agents just give up their money and yet are still willing to provide every service that was included for their full price. And this is work. You could ask Troy. Tell me, Troy, am I making this up or is it true? Do you go to someone and say, okay, if I work for less, you're getting less?
Yes, I'm a little bit more extreme than that, but yes.
He has actually shared his script with me. It's very direct. Anyway, I love this guy.
You know, I'll share this. This happened to me last week, right? Because I come to the conclusion that if we're bold and not arrogant in our business, people respect that. So I did have a gentleman say, well, we work for less. And I stood up and started taking pictures of his home, and it was in disarray. It hadn't been cleaned in weeks. And he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm working for less. I'm using all the pictures from my phone. There's not going to be any video. And I'm going to have this on the internet in about 20 minutes after you sign the listing agreement. He said, no. I want everything that you gave me in your package. I have something very similar to Gabby. He says, I want video. I want your PPC. I want all the marketing, what you do. And I sat down and I said, I will do this for 1% if you agree to make my mortgage payment for 6 months. So I'm a little bit more direct and I'm a little bit more crazy. And he said, no, I'll just pay you 3% and let's reconvene next week and stage the house. So I try to have fun with it, but I don't have a lot of patience with it now, if it's a $1.2 million home, I got some flex there. Right.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
It does. Yeah. You know what to say, when to say it, how to say it. Floyd Wickman, great Floyd Wickman. He would stand on stage and he said, go ahead and ask me, will you reduce your commission? And the audience would say, will you reduce your commission? And Floyd would go, no. And that was his rebuttal. And people were just shocked. I go, I didn't go, no. I just went like, no, like, why are you even asking that? And so this is part of you becoming comfortable with scripts and turning a script into a dialogue, because you infuse it with your personality, your humor, your mannerisms, and everything else. So it doesn't come across as something plastic or phony. Okay. Any other questions for the queen of Xtreme?
Stop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, we'll be able to get this marketing strategy information that you have up on the screen now.
Yeah, I can share it to you. Just send
Okay.
me a message via WhatsApp so I remember. I can send you the word. How do you say word?
The word
word
version.
And then, but again, you can use it as a guide, but
Right.
just keep in mind that I mean,
Do me a favor, just send it to Jeanette and let's have the Xtreme agents, because this is an Xtreme benefit, and I don't, is for our Xtreme team. So if you're Xtreme team, you go ahead and write to Jeanette directly asking for this. And then, we don't want to take Gabi's time responding to those. Jeanette can go ahead and get those out to the Xtreme folks.
so I even copy and pasted this image inside. You also have it.
Yes. Mhm.
So yeah, so you can copy from the Word document.
Great. Thank you.
Testimonials, reviews.
Credentials.
Wow, all the different classes and designations that you've earned.
Mhm.
Why isn't the CDP one at the very top?
Because I add them
As you get them?
right. So
Mm-hmm.
this is like the very latest I got.
Yeah,
And
good
before
answer.
this one. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Well, one more thing to talk about later.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there wasn't any dates by it, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh. But that is something that you want to have it like this, because what I told the clients is, see, the majority of the agents you're going to be meeting with, they probably tell you they're going to do something, but they don't put it in writing. I do. And you are going to hold me accountable, because everything that I do here is going to serve you as a guide to know that I'm going to be working for you. And that's how you earn their trust.
So let's take this to another level and really blow your mind. If you have attended or watched my ultimate listing presentation class, you know that I'm a huge believer in a pre-appointment package, a pre-listing appointment package. It is something that most real estate agents do not do that can make all the difference in the world. And this is a perfect thing to include in that package, along with the magazines that we have, our active marketing plan, the 9 critical questions to ask an agent before you list your home. When you include something like this ahead of time, so that they have, see, what happens is the risk is that when you present this at the presentation, it's so much stuff that they might say, wow, there's so much stuff here. I'm going to need a day or two to review this. By sending it ahead of time, when you get there, they're already pre-sold on you.
Mm-hmm. I think there's another one that I also have that I sometimes also send it. Oops. This one, but I haven't used this one in a while, but it's also something that you can use.
Yeah, that needs some updating. But yeah, watch
I haven't used this in a while, but
yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to overwhelm people, but you can create something like this you know.
All right. Any other questions, folks? So we're getting down to the wire now as we wrap up this training. So, listen, now maybe you're going to feel pressure to say, I'm going to have to answer this a certain way, but have these 4 sessions been beneficial? Is this something that, are you glad you signed up for? And would you recommend that another Xtreme agent also go ahead and take this? So
Great.
So what I need from you all, and Gabby, I don't know, maybe the best way is that we love reviews, reviews that can be used, because our reviews are not necessarily only from customers. The reviews can be from agents as well. So, you know, we could share the link where you guys can post a review about this, but also in the WhatsApp chat, because there's a lot of folks right now. There's a lot of apathy right now. Folks are just like, they're not engaged. They're just not there. The last year, 2 years have beaten them down so much that they're just not feeling it. And maybe hearing it from one of their own, hey, this can make a difference. Now, the ultimate test is going to be, are there results from this? I appreciate and I'm humbled that you guys love the content, but what really counts is how many appointments, how many leads you generate, that you convert to prospects, that you convert to appointments, to contracts, to closings. So here's what I'm going to do. Write this date down, Thursday, October 9th. I had to work around holidays and tours that I'm doing with the CDPE. But on the Thursday evening, like we've been doing, from 6 to 8 p.m., and I'll send out a special link as we get closer. But I'll post this date also in the chat. That's when where the rubber hits the road, because that may be a meeting that you're not going to want to be at, because you're going to be asked, all right, so how many leads did you generate? How many prospects? How many appointments? How many appointments became contracts and everything else? We're going to get down and dirty, and we're going to get some real numbers. And I refuse to believe that applying even a small portion of what you learn would not end up with some numbers in those columns. I just refuse to believe it. I think the only thing that could make that happen is if you just say, okay, this is great, let me get to it later, and it starts gathering dust somewhere. If you really go after it with that intensity, because look at that, I've seen the same faces 4 times. That means you made the commitment to take 2 hours, a total of 8 hours out of your lives to this. That means a great deal to us. It shows us the character that you have and the desire and the drive. But now I'm asking for more. I need you to put into effect what you've learned, so that when we get together, we're going to have some amazing numbers. And then guess what? Now we're going to go post to the rest of the team. Here are the type of results that our agents are getting by investing in this training that we're offering at no cost. So can you do that for me? I mean, that's the only thing I ask. Besides applying what you learned, give a little something back by giving us a shout out both on the Google. Gabi or Jeanette can share that page, and also definitely with the rest of the agents, because what do they call that? FOMO, fear of missing out. You know, I think a lot of people are like, wow, so you covered all this stuff? Yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, your commitment. I want to thank you for being part of our team, part of our family. You know that we're there for you. I want to thank Jeanette, that's been so loyal and being on each one of these calls, providing all this information. She's working on her own time. I'm not paying you for this, am I? Am I? Well, I guess if I am, it's still.
No.
Yeah, I pay eventually, one way or the other. But thank you for everything you do. Troy, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you and your knowledge and experience here. Can't wait to have you as part of our organization. All right, folks, have at it. And we'll be talking soon. Oh, we're going to keep that chat open. We're going to keep the Lazarus chat going through October 9th, okay? Because I want you guys to still post questions, challenges, and you know what? You could post 2 success stories, something that can give folks encouragement, Okay, so we're going to keep that going. Please, let's not make that something that's just gathering dust. Let's be interactive so that we can coax each other and support each other to get to where we want to go. All right. God bless you all. We'll be talking to you. Thanks. Thank you, Gabi. You're the best.
Thank you. You're